John Lapraik was imprisoned in 1783. It was because of the Air Bank failure. And the other notable investor in this bank was a Mr. George McRae. And this is where the tenuous link comes. Mr. George McRae was a wine merchant from Ayr, but he was also the proprietor at the time of Pitcairn House in Dalry. So there's a wee tenuous link for Dalry Burns Club to one of Burns' contemporaries. So I'll shut up and I'll go on with this. So the Epistle to John Lapraik. While briars and woodbines budding green, and patricks scratching loud at e'en, and morning pussy wasn't seen, inspire my muse. This freedom in an unknown freen, I pray excuse. On fastening we had a rocking, to caw the crack and weaver stocking. And there was muckle fun and joking, ye need nae doubt. At length we had a hearty yoking, and sang about. There was a sang among the rest, about them all it pleased me best, that some kind husband had addressed to some sweet wife. It thrilled the heartstrings through the breast, all to the life. I've scarce heard out described so well, what generous, manly bosoms feel. Thought I, could this be Pope or Steele or Beattie's work? They told me it was an old kind tale about Muirkirk. It part me fidging fair to hear it, and say about him there I spear it. Then all Kent him round declared he had engine, that nane excelled it, few came near. It was so fine. That set him to a pint of ale, and either douce or merry tale, or rhymes and sangs he made himself, or witty catches. Between Inverness and Teviotdale he had few matches. Then up I got, and swore an oath, though I should pawn my plew and graith, or dee a codger's pony's death at some dig back, a pint and gill I'll gie them both, to hear your crack. But first and foremost I should tell, amaist as soon as I could spell, aye, to the Crambo jingle fell, though rude and rough, yet crooning to a body's cell does well enough. I am nae poet in a sense, but just a rhymer, like by chance, and hate to learning nae pretence, yet what the matter? Whene'er my muse does on me glance, I jingle at her. Your critic folk may cock their nose and say, how can e'er propose you who can hardly verse for prose to make a sang? But by your leaves, my learned foes, you're maybe wrong. I said, what's all your jargon, all your schools, your Latin names for horns and stools? If honest nature made you fools, what sails your grammars? Ye'd better ta'en up spades and shoes, or napping hammers. I set a dull, conceited hashes, confuse their brains in college classes. They gang in stucks and come out asses, plain truth to speak. And say they think they climb Parnassus by dint of Greek. Gie me a spark o' nature's fire, that's the learning I desire. Then though I drudge through drub and mire, at plew or cared, my muse, though hamely in attire, may touch the heart. Oh, for a spunk o' Allen's glee, or Ferguson's the bald and slee, or bright Lapraik's my friend to be, if I can hit it. That would be lear enough for me, if I could get it. Now, sir, if you hae friends enow, though real friends I believe are few,
James, your connection's dropped.
as far abuse me. There's all we 40 whilst lay to me. I like the lassies, God forgive me, for mony a plaque they wheedle frae me at dance or fair. Maybe some other thing they can give me they well can spare. But Mauchline Racer, Mauchline Fair, I should be proud to meet you there. We's gie a night's discharge to care if we forgather and hae a swap a rhyming wear wi' one another. The four-gill chap, we'll gie him clatter, and cursing him wi' reeking water. Syne we'll sit down and take our witter to cheer our heart, and faith we's be acquainted better before we part. Awa ye selfish worldly race, who think that having sense and grace, Even love and friendship should give pace to catch the plaque. I dinna like to see your face, nor hear your crack. But ye whom social pleasures charms, whose hearts the tide of kindness warms, who hold your being on the terms each aid the others, come to my bowl, come to my arms, my friends, my brothers. But to conclude my lang epistle, as my old parents boiled to the gristle, 2 lines for you with Garmy Thistle, who am most fervent, while I can either sing or whistle, your friend and servant. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Excellent, excellent.